Europe's Economic Commissioner Olli Rehn says he did not discuss giving a bailout to Ireland in his meeting with the country's finance minister. On a two-day visit aimed at bolstering market confidence in Ireland, he said the government's forthcoming four-year plan would provide the clarity they needed. But earlier, the cost of borrowing rose to another record high for the Irish government as fears grew that it will eventually need financial aid. Greene specialises in the Irish and Greek economies for the Economist intelligence unit and joins us now. Megan, what's the difference then between Ireland and Greece? Why doesn't Ireland need a bailout?
Well, there are key differences between the structure of the Irish and the Greek economies. For starters, Ireland has a large and pretty robust export sector that will help generate growth in the upcoming years as domestic demand is sort of choked off by austerity measures. Greece, on the other hand, doesn't have a large export sector, and so it will have a much harder time generating growth to start bringing down its deficit and debt levels.
But there are concerns that the austerity measures won't get passed.
Yes, absolutely, and I think that's one of the biggest reasons why the markets haven't been at all calmed by the announcement that Ireland will be making a $6 billion fiscal adjustment next year. There are big questions about whether the budget can even get through Parliament. On top of that, I think that there are big concerns in the markets about the health of the banking sector, and although the government has made an announcement about the final cost of the bailing out the banking sector, I think that we'll continue to see bad news coming from the banks.
So is it too soon to categorically then rule out any form of bailout for Ireland?
And never say never. I think that looking at Ireland's fundamentals, however, it's possible to see how Ireland might get a bailout from the EFSF and then get sort of 2 years of breathing room in order to bring its deficit under control and draw a line under its banking sector and avoid a default in the way that Greece, I don't think, can.
These things have to be sort of managed really in terms of market perception, don't they? I mean, the difficulty is if you say that you're not bailing out Ireland, you have to second guess what the market reaction is going to be to that, whether it will be, oh good, it doesn't need bailing out, or oh dear, nobody's ready to bail it out.
Right. I think that the government's doing everything that it possibly could do to try to instill confidence in the markets. Its only other chance to try to calm down investors is with this four-year budget that it's going to announce later this month. Also, if the news coming out of the peripheral euro area countries generally improves, then market sentiment could change in Ireland's favor. However, I think that probably the opposite will happen, particularly as bad news is coming out about Greece meeting its fiscal targets for this year. So I think that Ireland will have to go to the euro area and the IMF for a bailout.
Megan, thanks very much indeed.